my year of trying to finish things, or last year was. And so this is just a little cute wall hanging that I got at the.
Oh.
It's, I still have to find it and quilt it. It's partially quilted. Yeah. Well, kind of.
You're missing an eye on the top there.
I am. And then this I've been working on forever, and I just finished it this.
Oh, I like
Is
that.
that a McKenna Ryan?
Yeah.
That is huge.
I recognize that. I
Fun
thought you
bordered.
I like the border on that.
Yeah, it was part of the pattern.
Good thing probably.
Don't look back here. It's a disaster.
We want to see the back.
Well, you don't have to see the back of a wall hanging.
Very good.
Good job.
Yeah.
Are you going next?
Okay.
Hang on.
Next.
First top in 5 years for showing that. And I started this on Catherine, I figured 10 years ago.
Somewhere right there.
Some of you recognize that.
Eclipse.
That's an eclipse.
Oh, beautiful.
Very nice.
No, we're good.
And she just finished it this afternoon.
Yes, I
Well,
did.
you don't want to rush these things.
5 years ago?
Huh?
You don't want to rush these things.
No,
No, I haven't shown
I have
you
older projects than that.
like 5 years. Exact.
Yay.
Yay. Good job.
Yay. Oh, all right. Well,
There's Kathy out.
I just have a couple of little things because my big things were already gone and I didn't bring pictures, but. Okay. So this, I'm making that here. A panel.
That's dark.
It is.
It was part of a kit that was given to me. And so I pieced the back quite a bit, but.
Yeah, it says here kitty, cat, nip, cuddle, pounce, mouse. Tuna breath. Meow, purr, you name it. It's probably
It
on
was
there.
cute.
Very
cute. Now this one, I made for my daughter, who was having a baby.
Okay, thank you.
This was for my daughter. And I quilted it and I bound it and I gave it to her at her shower. And I was in such a rush to get it done that I didn't actually look at the quilting. The back was so loose. It wasn't like bird's nest, but it was so loose it had to come out. So I brought it this weekend thinking I could just do, straight stitch or whatever. But I'm not gonna get to it. So now when I go home, I'll put it on my long arm and of course, requilt it. But yeah, I was so sad.
It's cute.
Huh?
Wizard of Oz.
Yes, the whole thing is Wizard of Oz. I bought the fabric a long time ago. I didn't like the bright red and blue and that color, so I bought all of that. I bought enough to make both my kids one for their kids someday. And after about 10 years of having the fabric, I thought, well, I'm never gonna have a grandbaby. So I just left it in the closet. But now I have a grandbaby. I do.
Yes, you do.
And these, I did not make these, but I wanted to ask you guys and just show you. A friend of mine from church called and she goes, somebody told me you were a quilter. Yeah. She goes, well, how long have you been a quilter? And I said, well, Joanne, I'm the one that made all the quilts for the church auctions and stuff. "Ah, you were? I said, yeah. And she said, okay, I'm gonna call you and you come over. I said, okay, so she called me a couple days later and I came over. Her great grandmother and grandmother made these, and her mom had a hand in it. They've been in this bag, there's two of them, they've been in this bag forever. She said, do you know how old the fabric is? And I said,
Old.
I have no idea. She estimated this one at over 100 and something years old. And then this one looks a little bit more, more recent. So this might have been the one that her grandmother and her mother worked on.
It looks
30s, 40s.
30s and 40s, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, 30s and 40s.
And the workmanship is great. There's no holes, no stains. And so I told her, I said, I'll finish them for you and your daughter and your son, and you guys can decide who gets what. And she said, we don't want them back. We don't want them back. And I said, why? And she said, because we have so many of their quilts. Our great ×5 grandchildren will have quilts forever. So do what you want to with them. So I don't know really what to do with them. Should I hand quilt them?
Put them in an auction.
Yeah.
No, finish them then?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish
There
it.
was a big
Make
debate
quilts
in
out
the
of it,
long
put
arm
'em in an
community, and long armers, posting, yeah, my customer gave me, and they were like, oh, no, you can't machine quilt it.
Right.
You know what?
You can't.
You do what you want, so you appreciate and love the quilt, and if that means quilting it by hand, do that, and then if it means quilting it by machine, do that. It's fine.
I
Either
just
way.
don't want to ruin the value.
No,
of the
No.
work.
no, it's,
I've heard appraisers say it doesn't run value for you to finish it.
Yeah, just
Awesome.
document however,
Yeah.
what you know on it and then.
It would
finish
take me, well, the better part of the rest of my life to hand quilt them, so
Yeah.
that's not an option.
I had a couple that my ex's great or his aunts had from their mom, but they weren't that great at workmanship. They did have some issues with the seams and stuff, and they just wanted them finished.
Mhm.
I just stippled them for them like a big meander, and they were thrilled to be able to use
And that's
them.
what I thought I would do too, and it's so cool on that one.
Yeah. This is
Like,
really.
Here's some
old
close-ups,
fabric.
these are
guys.
all, these are
Of
really old,
fabric.
and the plaids.
And they would take a piece,
It's probably
a
cut
quarter
off
of
the
an
shirt.
inch. or maybe
This
half
is
an
from
inch,
the
and
70s, and this is very
on a
old.
quarter.
I
Look
bet.
at this, look at this.
I'm
honey.
guessing
I mean,
this was
just-
made in the 70s.
Poverty blocks.
Looks like you got some
Look at
from
this.
Susan.
They use
Oh,
any
and I
old
got
fabric
some
they
on
have.
Sue.
That's from the 70s, 1970s.
This is.
That hand stitched through machine.
All right, now it feels like retreat. Everybody's talking at once.
There's back.
Okay,
No. it's
they're
not.
getting everybody
This
talking
is
at once, guys,
hand-stitched,
for
you
the
know.
show and tell. They're getting everybody talking at once.
Okay,
Yeah, you can probably discuss that after.
yeah, we
finish
gotta
the
look at
job.
that one closer.
I can't remember what this quilt was called, but anyway, she was doing it all by hand, and this is the lady that gave me the quilts, was doing this one. She was a quilter years ago, and then she was just gonna sew them all together, and it was called a puff piece or something, but she has all the pillows made, she said. Would you finish it? And I thought, I really don't want to do the puff piece, but you know, I didn't want to.
Zigzag them together.
Yeah, zigzag them. I could do that. Yeah. And then she had a whole bunch of sunbonnet Sues. And I don't know how old they are. I don't know which one of the women in the family made them.
And the women don't.
30s or 40s? 30s, right?
40s,
I think
40s, 1940s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
The ditzy prints in the 40s were larger than the ones in the 30s. Those are very 40s.
okay,
Yes.
cool. So I thought, well, I could make her, you know, something, but she doesn't want me to make her anything. So I figured, well,
Donate it in her name.
yeah, you know, or,
Is the church gonna have another auction?
well,
That's
we,
what I was thinking.
right, our church is kind of not functioning right now, but,
By
I
the
could
time
make
you
them.
get these finished. it
They
will
might be,
functioning.
These are only basted down, so you'd have to
Oh, still sew them?
around, cause see, this is only
Oh,
basted,
it
this
is.
is only basted.
So you'd have to like
See,
button
because
hole.
it's loosely basted with the edge, but the edge is turned under.
And some of them are stained, but that's okay. I just wasn't
Once
exactly,
it's finished, you can.
yeah. Launder it. And one other thing I wanted to show you is my necklace. It's a piece of jade. And I have the bracelet that matches. My nephew, who is a vagabond for a better, he's a hobo by choice. He lives on the street in the mountains above San Francisco, and he loves it. So he doesn't own a thing. This piece of jade was this long, and it was rounded at one end and really pointy, and kind of sharp at the other end, but it was polished and ready to have a stone, have it set. So a friend of mine moved back to the Indian reservation where his family was originally from, and he'd never seen it. He'd never been there. So he learned silversmithing. His family taught him silversmithing, and he's the same age as I am. So everyone said, "Oh, look at the work he's doing." And so I called him up and I said, "I won't trust anybody with this piece of jade because it means so much to me, because my nephew gave it to me. When he left one time under very hard circumstances, I found it on my dresser. So I wanted to keep it, And anyway, so I asked Mike if he would do it for me. And he said, "Laura, it's so darn big. The amount of silver I'd have to put on it to hang it around your neck, you'd be like this. Can I break it? Can I cut it?" And I said, "Sure, just do it." And this is what.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I was admiring that earlier today,
I'll
but I
have it
didn't say
forever.
anything, but
Yeah.
I was admiring it earlier today.
So it was such a blessing for him to do that for me. I was really, really
Cool.
happy. So I'm gonna make him a little quilt for his new trailer.
Awesome.
You go ahead,
Wow, look at that. Why do we have this? Why is it so dark? Can you guys see in the remote?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. I know.
the light's fine on here. Look at the cute echo quilting around each chili pepper though. Can you see that?
Mm.
Cute.
I
I
like
did
the
this.
way you twist and turn. Wow.
Oh,
With,
yeah.
Him and her food.
Yeah. And then I embroidered on the back. I did the label, and it was a birthday. So
You wear it all the time.
Cute.
just put her name and embroidered a cactus on there. For my dog that's since gone. And then she's always liked chili peppers, so I made her the bag. We did this in the foothills. So, and then this was a Dresden plate that I made her. And her husband had framed it for her. And he didn't put a back on it, so it kind of started getting moldy. And so I, after he passed away, we took it down and we sold her house. And so I got it back, but she uses the quilt, so she just puts it on her couch, so. Anyway. I can't remember what, I guess I didn't put, oh no, I made this in 2009. So that's it. Not finished anything.
Oops.
That's the back.
Got it.
This is just a small quilt made out of a pattern that Ellen loaned me called Scooch Over.
I like that.
And
Did that
I
last
had-
year at the retreat.
I had these big, beautiful flowers in this fabric that I just didn't want to have to really cut up, so they were unrecognizable. And my favorite colors, I love it. Really neat back. Very pretty. So. Easy, fast pattern. And
The scooch over pattern is from the BQ, for those of you, a lot of you
Yes.
recognize
It's a
that.
lot like a.
So
BQ.
it's like the new series of the BQ, and there's like 3 of them, I think. I could be wrong on that, but there's several of the scooch overs.
And this is my Shout for Joy mystery. It is not bound yet, but binding's here. And I figured it was scrappy and I had all these pieces of leftover binding. I just put a bunch of them together and that's what it's gonna be bound in.
Now, why is it shiny on the back?
It's in the fabric.
It sparkles.
Yes, it does. Winter. I think it's supposed to probably represent snow on these trees. So anyway, when I first put it together, some of you saw it on the form because I put one section like this with these points out instead of in. And I thought about keeping it that way because, you know, and the more I looked at it, the more I said, can't do it. So I put it back, took it apart, put it back together. And Carrie quilted it. And she used a geometric pattern. It came out really nice.
Yeah.
Usually in something that's geometric, I like something that's round for quilting, but she decided she would you like this? Sure, use your judgment.
I'm gonna tell you how perfect Kathy sewed that together, that if you will look, all the vertical lines are parallel. to
Yeah.
her
Oh.
seam.
It's extremely rare for
It
Kathy to
wasn't.
do that.
See the parallel lines.
And you have seen this one. at the
Nice.
top.
And now it's a quilt.
In 2014, I had heart surgery. And most of you have an investment in this quilt because you made big blocks. I got a total of 84 blocks. And I didn't want to put them together in my usual beige or black. And I love turquoise, so that's what I used to frame them with. And Carrie quilted this one also just this fall. And I didn't quite finish the binding because that's where my label's gonna go and I haven't done the label yet. So I just said, okay. But it's together enough for you guys to get another look at it.
I'd like to see where these blocks are.
You can, I can leave it out in the other room and you can look.
That's
beautiful. But it's, even in binding it, you know, you go around and you see a block and somebody's name and it's, I call this Healing Hearts, that's its name.
Cute.
I know you're so glad your heart healed.
And that concludes show and
This
tell.
is the end.
I have,
Oh, I'm sorry, it does not conclude it. I'm so sorry. You guys have a bigger table. We have Ami left. I'm so sorry.
Come on.
A minute ago, I said.
Ellie.
I thought it was just me.
I know.
I said, I'm going
So
to
sorry.
town.
We cannot miss Ami's call. I saw some of these birds last night at preview.
So my mystery quote, I just had a little problems following the rules and, I mean, I know.
There's a rebel in every crowd.
Ellen kind of, you know, messed up a little bit, but I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't follow those
And
rules.
she
so,
applicate around it.
and it's got a right side, up and down. There you go. Okay. So, yeah,
Yes,
Look
you
at
did.
the birds.
early on in the mystery and mysteries, you take the components and play with them. I had played with this. And, you know, by the time we got done, I'm like, I really like that idea. So I used every single block we needed to make for the mystery and no more.
You just redesigned it.
And then during the pandemic, I just went crazy with applique. It comforted me and made me happy to just sit there and do handwork. So in fact, I did the applique border while my husband was in the hospital. So 8 hours at a time.
It's beautiful.
I like the quilting though. Thank you. The birds are sweet. Yeah. They're that's a mountain bluebird and that is a regular bluebird. They're Colorado birds. Yeah.
It took you 8 hours. Okay.
I don't know. I
Ooh,
don't
that
really
back's
think
pretty
so.
too.
I would be in the hospital for 8 hours. And then Shelley is a little responsible for this one. It was a squirrel. Shelley made these blocks and I was like, okay, those are cute. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll make one. And I made a few and then I'm like, doggone it, now I've got a UFO, but.
Oh, these are the ones I took a
Oh,
picture of
yes.
her, or love these.
I remember
So-
seeing that on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice
it's
quilting on that too.
not my favorite quilt in life, but it was fun.
Oh, I love it.
Sometimes it's the journey, right?
Yeah, it's a journey and I enjoyed quilting it. I just kind of took my time and just.
I like how you quilted
Yeah, there's
Two more,
lots.
yeah.
Those
without,
lots.
yeah.
So,
isn't that
yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I always love
So,
things that do
I
that.
don't know if I'm real happy with this, but you know.
Oh, I love it.
It's very nice.
This is such a good thing, the quilting, and she's doesn't know if she's happy with it.
Here, maybe
It's gorgeous.
maybe they can see a little better.
Yeah, that background's a little busy, but
I could see it pretty good on the camera from the front, but
after it stopped screaming, I took it off the frame.
I love that one.
me too.
This one, one day recently, what am I gonna quilt next? I took out my whole box of UFOs, laid them all on the 14-foot frame. And the one that was didn't need a piece of back for, my least favorite, I was actually going to use this as the back of a quilt because I didn't like it. I'm like, well, doggone, I'll just put it on there. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna practice different kinds of fillers. And now I just love this. So this is just,
Prime example.
oh, and this is from Linda Who's stash. And this is from Linda Who's stash, so.
Wow, gorgeous.
Look, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used a lot of really pretty fabric and then I was like, I hate this. But yeah, now I like it.
it's
that it's
beautiful.
quilted, it just, yeah. And then I made this top, piece this top in Oregon, working on my scrap bin. And I knew I wanted an applique border on it, and I had it last year at the retreat. Pandemic hit, and I just
Went crazy.
went crazy with the applique on this guy. Oh yeah, it's upside down. So it's the same two birds, but they're in different fabrics. And then I did
your
a squirrel here, and there's a squirrel over there.
Those are so cute.
But
That might have been 2 retreats ago that you and I worked
Yeah,
on figuring out how
but
to do the
this-
trees.
Lifetime Forever project, I did the applique pretty quick. Yeah, every time my husband walked in the room, I was sitting there working on applique and goes, "Are you gonna do anything else?"
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Bet you still have a lot more scraps.
What's that?
The vacuum that this is
Yeah.
on feels so nice on.
Yeah.
This is from Walmart. That's from Walmart? No, wait a minute, this is Kona, the other one, the
I
other
was
gray
gonna
one is
say.
from Walmart. Yeah, this is Kona cotton.
Remember who's the quilter
This one.
that said she buys bolts of those solids at
Yeah.
Walmart?
Mama.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping to get this quilted pretty soon. I need to order gray thread for it, so. Yeah, maybe next year it'll be quilted and back at the retreat again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anybody else? Did we forget anybody?
Yeah, has everybody shown their quilt? Because everybody should have had their opportunity to do show and tell. Nothing? Okay, I think we're really done.
Yay. Thanks, guys.